Geekbox Forums Community Podcast. This is episode 19 for the week of June 11th, 2012. This week, we pick our top threes from the E3 conference of 2012. We also discuss this week's Moviebox pick, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And tune in for some Prometheus spoiler talk after the credits. Hello and welcome to alltalk, the Geekbox Forums Community Podcast. This is episode 19, and I am Dakazu from the forums. Who else is with me today?
Kenzo.
Kevin EP3.
Mr. X.
Jen.
And Totoro.
Rodney.
This is like the worst intro ever.
Dorney.
I hope everyone has stopped listening. The three people who do.
Hey, come on. We're up to 4.
We have fans. You know, Bob said he likes the podcast a lot.
And Puppybox.
Puppybox listens, even though we have invited Puppybox to come on, but...
And the other two that listen are Dakazu and Totoro.
Doesn't Higgins listen?
Yes,
he listens to the Twin Peaks episodes.
Well, I
the one that no one listens to.
I listen to it because I have to edit it.
You know, the last episode of the Twin Peaks podcast that went up was great.
It's great if you want your eardrums blown out.
Oh my god.
It's great if you like dumb TV shows.
Mustard belt.
We
went off topic more than we were on topic on that.
Speaking of off topic, we have some things we need to talk about today, right?
Yes, we are going to talk about E3. And because everyone is discussing E3, we are going to simply give our own top 3 things from E3 that we liked. And we're just simply going to discuss. Who wants to start?
I'll start. I'll go first. Mine's pretty simple.
Okay.
Number 1 is... Wait, should I start with 3 or 1?
Whichever.
It's 3? Okay. 3 is Star Wars 1313. That looked so good. 2 is Watch Dogs. And 1 is Last of Us.
So you just outed yourself as a graphic solar.
Yep. Well, I had to disqualify certain games because I didn't want to have anything that was like a repeat from past E3s, like Borderlands 2 or Darksiders 2.
Fair enough. I had some disqualifications as well.
Also, Halo 4 looks pretty good.
Well, sure looks like Halo.
It does, but it looks a little different with the new enemies that grab the grenades and throw them back. It's pretty cool.
Wow, revolutionary.
Let's talk about your top 3, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
And if someone has like some crossover, they can join in.
Yeah, did anybody else have Star Wars 1313?
My number 1 is the same as your number 1.
It should be everyone's number 1.
Oh, man.
Why don't you guys talk about Last of Us, then?
Well, why don't we start with 1313?
See, I haven't enough of it to know.
I think
like it has potential.
It's Star Wars
it
Uncharted.
Has potential,
but that is what
Uncharted
to expect.
Star Wars edition.
It's what to expect from probably next generation consoles, and it looks really good.
Well, yeah, it looks good.
They got
ILM
to help with the graphics on it.
The last good single player Star Wars game that came out.
Force Unleashed 1.
Exactly. No, I said good,
Return
not
of
mediocre.
the Jedi. Super Return of the Jedi.
Force Unleashed wasn't that bad.
Super Return of the Jedi.
It was. I thought it was pretty mediocre.
Yoda's Desktop Adventures.
Oh my
I'd
God.
say KOTOR. KOTOR would probably be the last good one.
X-Wing.
No, you're wrong.
Fighter.
Mass
You are
Effect
wrong.
2.
You're all wrong.
Star Wars the arcade game.
Anyways, that game looks dumb. Sorry.
You like that it's not Jedi focused, Rodney?
I kind of wish it was a smuggler though, so that you could play like Han Solo.
Who says it's not?
Well, they said that he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, same thing.
It is not.
You have
If
a
you're
guy
smuggling,
operating on the fringe of the law.
Yeah, I told X, if you're a smuggler, then it's going to be boring space missions where you're carting cargo.
Indiana Jones is an archaeologist where he digs up stuff, and yet they seem to have adventures.
And X never ever marks the spot.
Yes.
I just know that thing that makes Uncharted special to me is the characters and the good writing.
That is true.
Stuff.
The gameplay in Uncharted is bad.
It's not bad. It's just there.
Well, the gunplay.
Well, I feel like maybe kind of the smugglers that well, I'm sorry, not smugglers, but the bounty hunters that you've been exposed to, and sort of the mainstream fiction of Star Wars universe, have all pretty much been blank slates, at least as far as I can tell.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett, the
Fett,
world's
where?
most bumblingest bounty hunter.
Gets eaten by the Sarlacc.
Well,
So it
didn't
is.
he technically not?
Well, he was eaten
the
by it, but
extended
he wasn't
fiction?
digested.
He got out.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Dengar?
What about Django?
Yeah, what about Django?
What about
Unchained.
Django sucks.
What he got taken about by Mace Windu. Who's gonna kill Mace Windu?
Who also sucks.
Emperor Palpatine?
You know what sucks?
No, that was a cheap
Talking
shot.
about this. We got other games to talk about.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, okay. What was my second one? Watch Dogs? That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that... I have a gut feeling that that's not going to come out anytime soon.
They said it's next year.
Okay.
They
said-
they
I have
say
a gut
things
feeling.
like that all the time.
They've said next year for PC and consoles.
Oh,
And I
okay.
say consoles in quotes.
Well, next year could be, when the new Xbox and the PS4
It could also
next-
be next fiscal year.
You know what that game looks like? That game looks like Grand Theft Auto meets Live Free or Die Hard. And that just looks so boring to me.
That is not what it looks like. It looks like Grand Theft Auto meets Deus Ex.
It
So hacking like the signal lights and stuff didn't remind you of Live Free or Die Hard at all.
What about when he went into like the club and was talking to dudes?
I don't know that part.
You should have watched the whole thing instead of just the action scene.
I saw the action sequence at one of those press conferences and was like, this is boring.
The whole video is like 10 minutes long. And most of it has no action in it. It's just him walking around talking to dudes.
They should have shown me that part. The part I saw was boring.
They did show you that. You just didn't watch it. It's out there.
You know,
Yeah, you have to skip around.
the part about that game that looks really interesting to me is at the very end, it jumps to someone else, and then you see a bunch of people. So, does that mean there's a single player content with co-op, or does it mean like it's the fabled single player and multiplayer at the same time, cross player? Remember the crossing?
They said that there's other players in your game when you're playing it, so I think that's what it is. Or it's like Dark Souls and Demon Souls where you get invaded. What would you think about that?
Do you
That
think
would be
it's-
awful?
Do you think it's like you're playing the game, and when you're between missions, you might get a pop-up that says, "Hey, so and so is doing this mission. Do you want to help them?" And then you just get some people jumping in your game to help you with that part of the mission.
Or maybe you'll get a mission where you have to go and stop another player from completing their mission.
That would be awesome, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
That would make
That-
the
that
game
would be-
super difficult.
Then
Yeah,
they already had a game like that. Don't you remember on the PS3? It was something where you could hack different people and different bodies. I gotta look it up.
Do you mean breaching? Because you could breach people in Syndicate.
No, it wasn't Syndicate. I gotta look it up. You
It's a
guys talk.
Square Enix game?
Yeah, that Squeenix game was supposed to be awful.
Mind Hack or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Alright, what else
Alright.
we gotta talk about?
So you guys don't have anything else to say about Watch Dogs?
It's on my list.
Is it? Oh, it's one of your top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think it looks really good. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Looks like it's probably going to be visually stunning. So
You know, the one thing I thought was interesting was when he took the dude out of the car and was like, "Stay down," to like
That was the dumbest
minimize
part.
things. And I thought that was interesting.
It was interesting
Why?
that he's like shows care and compassion for like the safety of this civilian, except he caused this giant wreck that put the civilian in the harm's way in the first place.
And it
And
looks
was-
like some people died anyway.
Yeah, but what if like the people you save become like allies or something of yours in the game? And you can make allies of anyone or something.
I think you're...
Nah,
I think you're
you
reading-
yeah,
can-
you're overthinking it.
Maybe. Okay, Last of Us.
looks amazing.
It does.
The
You know,
one thing I have to say, I
It's gonna
don't
be really
I don't
good.
want to kill people in that game. It's too brutal for me.
I want to kill people.
it's funny.
I laugh at you.
Higgins said that it looks just like Uncharted,
It does.
but it seems like the opposite of Uncharted.
It does.
It kind of made me think of like The Road, like
Yeah.
just reading the book. It's like that's when I was watching. I was like, this is exactly what I had pictured in my mind.
It is very the roadish.
So you guys
Which
talk
is
about
a
how
great book
brutal
and
it
everyone
is.
should
It
read.
is so brutal.
You guys talk about how brutal it is, and I just laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Why?
Because you're talking, oh, it's so brutal, so violent. Nah. It just
Nah,
happens to be a
when he
little up
chokes
close.
that guy out, that's just, man, too much for me.
They gave so much impact to like every punch and everything in that game that that was super brutal.
I like it. It gives weight to what you're doing as opposed to like Uncharted, where you're just like willy-nilly mowing down everybody, and it's like,
Okay.
man, whatever. I'm getting genocide. It's no big deal. This makes you think about like, oh, I'm actually murdering things here. This is kind of
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
It forces you to
I
think.
like that.
Exactly, yeah. Like slam a dude's head into a table in that game is way more brutal than shooting someone in Soldier of Fortune 2 and having their guts fall out.
I don't know. I played Condemned 2, and I think I'm just desensitized to that kind of stuff. Sure looks good.
Desensitized to bears.
You're desensitized to bats.
Why? Because I shot a bat?
Yes.
Get a Pelican.
IRL.
Terrible.
It was a
terrible
home
person.
invasion. I was defending myself.
Was coming
Anyway.
back for you.
Yeah, let's go on.
Did you hear? Wait, did you hear one last thing about Last of Us? Did you hear that basically you can do the entire sequence that was in the trailer without
Completely
engaging those
different?
guys? Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to engage them at all, but you forfeit the chance to get the supplies from that area.
Stealth mode. I'm all about that.
But
Mhm.
then you also you don't waste your ammo, so you keep the supplies that you had.
Yeah, risk reward, and that was all. Let's move on to someone else.
How about you go?
Yeah, you go.
Me?
I know you have a completely different list, so you go.
I was gonna go last because my list was different, but okay. I disqualified Dark Souls, Prepare to Die Edition, and Borderlands 2, because those would just be on my top 3 all the time. My number 3 is Hawken. My number 2 is South Park: The Stick of Truth, and my number 1 is the XCOM strategy game.
Wait,
That
to change
is,
that, so
like-
that's
I'm
gonna be,
actually super excited for all of those,
XCOM is like Civ, right?
especially XCOM.
But
I-
Hawken looks great.
I doubt like my top 3 is on anyone else's.
I signed up for the beta for Hawken like months ago.
Hawken is what it is. It's a free to play. We're calling it MMO, but basically it looks like it's kind of like just multiplayer modes, but it's mechs. So like it kind of reminds me of like Front Mission building mechs, Armored Core building mechs, Mech Warrior. You build
But
your
It
mech.
unlike-
looks real good.
Unlike
It looks
those games,
amazing.
though, it's really fast paced. It looks like the mechs can move really fast.
But it
Nah,
still
not
looked like
that
they
fast.
had a good mech weight to them, you know?
This isn't Zone of
And-
the Enders or anything.
And it looks really good.
Yeah, they're not flying mechs, Kenzo, but I just like the concept of mechs, and it's free to play, and it looks awesome. I'm a little disappointed because it seems like they don't have much modes besides kind of multiplayer, just, you know, battle modes. So I hope they expand on that a little bit, but it looks great. So that's my third pick. My second pick was the South Park Stick of Truth game. I knew nothing about that game, and that game looks amazing, just like the South Park cartoon.
Which Final Fantasy is it like?
Final Fantasy IV, I think.
Yeah, I heard it was 4 or 5. I just can't remember which.
If it has like a class based system, it will be 5. I assume it's going to be 4. That you just recruit different characters and they act like different classes. But have you guys seen that trailer? It looks amazing.
Oh yeah,
it
that
looked
game
good.
looks so awesome.
Yeah, I'll wind up playing it, but just not quite excited enough about sticking in my
The
top
thing
3.
is, the AAA games like all Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil 6, Far Cry 3, Dead Space 3. I'm probably going to play those, but I wasn't really excited about them. Like these 3 games that I put on my top 3, these are games that I'm now really excited for that I wasn't at all. And the XCOM one really surprised me because I've never played XCOM, but I dig the idea.
You should. It's really good.
Wait, are we talking about the same XCOM?
The
This is
The
turn-based
turn-based
strategy
one.
game?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
I
talking
was-
about the first-person shooter one. This is the one that's by
No, the real
Firaxis.
XCOM game.
The first-person shooter wasn't even shown, I don't think.
No,
Oh, I thought this new one was supposed to be the FPS.
no.
No,
This is
no.
There's
This-
2 XCOM games being made.
Oh boy.
This
Okay.
is by Firaxis, who did Civ, and I didn't know
Okay.
much about XCOM, but I haven't played a turn-based strategy game, and you know I love Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff like that. So I dig the setting. I like the idea of being able to choose what kind of upgrades and stuff you want to do, your own path, and doing the missions. And it sounds really appealing to me, and I wasn't into it at all. So top of my list.
Awesome. Should we move on to somebody else's top 3?
Sure, unless anyone wants to comment about those 3 games that I talked about.
No, they all look
I'll
interesting.
agree with you on XCOM. XCOM looks super awesome.
Yeah, if Fire Access is doing it, then I'll definitely give it at least a shot.
Sid Forrest Burden survived.
I just want to point out, Sid Meier is a character in the game, like playable thing.
Cool.
It's like God mode.
I want to hear what Rodney's top 3 are.
Let's
Rodney's
go.
top 3 presented by Rodney.
Rodney, say something.
I agree.
Why do you hate women?
It has nothing to do with hating women.
I'm joking.
Is it wrong that I'm more interested in this game than The Last of Us?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
A slight bit.
Yeah, I can never fault anyone for their opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Naughty Dog is always great with their animations of, the stumbling and all that stuff. So.
Well, not just that. Like when you fire and you're out of ammo, the guy says, "I know that sound," and then he comes out, and then the girl throws a brick at his face. That part was hilarious.
What?
That looks interesting.
Assassin's Creed 3 isn't on your top 3?
That was my.
Oh, the boat part was pretty great.
That's on my honorable mention too, because I love Assassin's Creed.
Wait,
but how do you know it's Heavy
Beyond
Rain?
Souls or just Beyond?
It's Beyond 2 Souls. There's a colon in there.
I've heard it described as Heavy Rain mixed with a Ghost Trick.
Video. But is it like Heavy Rain mixed with a video?
Hey, screw you. I love them.
Well, just
it's fine.
Just so long as the control works a little bit better than
in
Heavy Rain.
That was the only one bad part about
But
Heavy
don't you
Rain
hate
was those
tank
controls.
Rodney? Someone here hates tank controls.
Totoro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Totoro can't even play Resident Evil 5.
Why won't you work?
Noob.
Yeah, it looked like a turret sequence.
I think that you were under control more than just like being on rails. Like when they're on the open sea, it seemed like the person was in control of like
steering. It did look like he was steering it. Because there was a part in the very beginning where I kept thinking, like, this guy kind of sucks at driving it because he keeps almost going into the rocks.
Yeah, that looked like it might have been. But then once it turned and went to combat, it didn't look like you were in control anymore.
Huh?
But will you get a Vita for the Vita Assassin's Creed?
Yep. Want it.
I already have one, so.
I heard that the Vita one has a jump button, and I am not happy about that.
Why?
Because Assassin's Creed doesn't need a jump button.
I like jumping buttons. I hate the stupid Zelda 64 method of jumping where you just kind of like run at a place and it just automatically jumps.
I like the Assassin's Creed style of jumping.
Where you just hold down button.
It makes it traversal so much quicker. I don't know. Were there haystacks in New Orleans?
Probably.
So Beyond, huh? I don't know.
Dude. Ghost
That was funny.
Ghost Trick.
That was hilarious. They say Ellen Page does this amazing acting in this game, and then they show a scene where she doesn't speak.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty. I do appreciate because in Heavy Rain, all the people they had for the actors were not American, so they didn't have the subtleties down. But
I mean, you can tell.
Hopefully,
you can tell the purpose of that was they're trying to show very subtle movements of the face and stuff. So I don't blame them, but yeah, that was kind of funny.
Well, and it could be the other thing about it, that if you recognize an actor, then, that actor is no longer necessarily a character to you, and it can potentially take you out of the experience of the game.
I don't know. I didn't have that kind of problem in, what was it? Yeah.
That was weird, though. The faces in that look so much better than everything else.
Oh, man. If they had announced a new... if Rockstar said that they were gonna do something with that would have been
kind of surprised there was no Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that was weird.
Has Rockstar ever really shown anything at E3 though?
Yeah,
no.
They were on the stage on the PS3 when they announced Agent. And look where that got them.
Let's move on to someone else's top 3.
I think Kevin should go.
All right, It's hard to decide for 2 and 3, because there's a couple that I want Assassin's Creed to be up there, but I was watching the stuff from Metro, and that also looked very good.
The Last Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metro Last Light.
Because I got a thing for post-apocalyptic stuff. So.
What do you think about them getting rid of the whole bullet economy?
What?
Yeah.
See, that's one of those things like I don't know yet because they haven't gone too much into it.
And they made the shooting better.
Well,
Completely
that's fine.
Ruined the game, getting rid of the bullet economy and making the
Wait, do they still
shooting
have
actually
handmade
good.
like weapons and stuff?
I don't know.
I think so.
That was such a good part of Metro 2042.
2033.
Yeah, whatever.
What I like most about Metro 2033 was like how cautious you had to be at every moment because any little thing could kill you.
Also,
Because the shooting was bad.
The the atmosphere in that game is amazing. So, yeah, Metro Last Light, cool.
I think I would maybe agree and have a Tomb Raider in number 3, possibly. But then I really like God of War games. So I was pretty pumped for the new God of War.
It just looks like God of War.
And
Exactly.
if you like God of War, then congrats,
It
you got
doesn't
more God of
even-
War. What's wrong with
It
that?
doesn't even look as good as God of War 3.
Yeah, it does.
It has the repair gun from Red Faction Armageddon.
I saw several people tweet that while I was watching the Sony press conference.
Well,
See, that doesn't really bother me at all.
that's what he likes.
Whatever. It's Kevin's list. Keep going.
Yeah,
You're wrong,
exactly. But see, I don't know which one of those would be number 3.
Just pick one.
Just give it time.
You've already named 3
Yeah.
games.
It's true, I have named 3 games. Yeah, I'll just go those would be 2 or 3, and then 1 would be Last of Us.
Last of Us seems to be coming up a lot.
Because God does it good.
I guess that leaves Kenzo, but I think we already know that his number 1 is Wonderbook.
Hey, I love me some Harry Potter, alright? Haters
We
gonna
didn't
hate.
do Totoro yet either, but let's do Kenzo.
We'll go for
Totoro.
Kenzo first.
Alright, so for the third thing that I liked the most E3 was PlayStation Plus, and the second thing was PlayStation Plus, and the first thing was PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
But-
can I change mine? I'll make all those mine too.
That was great. You got so many good games.
So I turned on, because like during the press conference they only mentioned 3 games. Like, oh, you're gonna get these 3 full games, and then we'll cycle out new games every now and then. So the next day I go turn on my PlayStation and there's Infamous 2, Little Big Planet 2, Saints Row 2, Just Cause 2, Warhammer 40k Space Marine, Ratchet & Clank All for One, Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, Hardcore Uprising, Choplifter HD, Zombie Apocalypse, Never Die Alone, and Sideways New York. And I don't have any of those games, so that's, bam, like 12 free games.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
when they said it too, I thought they were going to be like staggering those games throughout the month. Like the first week would be Infamous or something, and then something else later.
Yeah.
But 12 games in one day is just awesome.
So-
I wonder if every month are they going to be giving out 12 games?
I don't expect
Oh my
them to.
god, if only.
Or when they rotate them out, does that mean you can't play them anymore?
No.
No,
If you
can-
already have them like downloaded and registered for your thing, then yeah, you can keep playing them however long as you subscribe to the service. But
They'll only be free for maybe a couple of weeks or something.
you have to pounce on
Yeah, you have to
them.
download it. You have to download it when it's available, and then after that, you won't be able to get it anymore. But as long as you have it, it's yours.
You know, last night Kenzo sent me a top 3 list that was not all PlayStation Plus.
I know, I
Try to read
reconsidered it. I'll say those. So I'll make PlayStation Plus 1, and number 2 is going to be Zone of the Enders, the HD collection. I don't know if any of you guys played a lot of Zone of the Enders, but those are one of my favorite games back in like the PlayStation 2 era.
I bought the first. Yeah, I bought the
played
first
of
one.
them.
And then I think I let someone borrow it, and I never got it back, or it just went missing. Or I have no idea what happened to it.
Yeah. Man, I love
Does
those
it come
games.
Does it come
think I
with a
played
demo
2.
for Metal Gear Solid 2?
Probably not.
The first one.
I have no idea. I don't really care about
That
that
would
game.
be really funny.
Appropriate though.
And
Yeah, a lot of people did buy that first game for the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo.
I did as well, and I ended up finding a really awesome game. And the second one was even better.
I haven't played the second one. I
Oh
want
man,
to.
so good. Dingo is so awesome.
Is your
It's-
3... I'm sorry, go ahead.
The third one is the new SimCity. And
Sim City.
I've talked about that before on this podcast, and I don't think they showed much new stuff, but yeah, SimCity, great stuff.
You like Sim City?
I do.
SimCity is fun.
No slaves. Wow, that's
Ronnie,
such a
do
weird
you want
thing
it to have
ask.
slaves?
He's just talking about the fact that he's playing Dragon's Dogma and he refers to his Bonds as slaves.
But they are slaves. They're basically slaves. What?
Kenzo, are
talking
you
about?
pro-slavery?
Okay, so those are my games.
Totoro.
Totoro's
go.
Go for it, Totoro.
Wait, before. I'm swapping out Tomb Raider for Transformers.
What?
Because that looks so good.
The 3DS one?
Oh, no one.
No, the Fall of Cybertron? Because that first one, I loved it so much, and this new one just looks awesome.
Okay, I think we were saving the best top 3 for last.
Okay. I so wanted to put like a Nintendo game on here somewhere, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Is it because they all looked awful?
Is it because they all look like the same game you played 20 years ago?
Yes.
Kind of.
Internet high five, Kenzo. Higgins is gonna hate us because we hate Nintendo.
I'm sorry for
No,
interrupting.
I
you.
would. No, I mean, out of all of these, I think that I will wind up playing like New Super Mario Brothers U more than any of these other games, just because it's going to be something I can sit down and play with my wife. But my number 3 is going to be Watch Dogs. My number 2 is going to be. Oh man, I'm going back and forth on the top 2.
Hurry up.
My number 2 is going to be Beyond Two Souls, and my number 1 is going to be The Last of Us.
Awesome. Last
Can I
of Us
throw
was
out the
not-
worst thing?
Is it from
Winterbook?
Nintendo?
No. The new Splinter Cell.
You know, a lot of people say that looks good.
It's
am
not
kind of
Splinter
excited by
Cell.
I'm
That's
kind
right.
of excited by the prospect of
Michael Ironside.
Spies versus Mercs multiplayer.
It just looked
That
like
seems- that'd
some
be cool.
third-person shooter action game, not a Splinter Cell game.
Hey, you remember
So
when
no
you used to
one
play stealth
liked-
in those games? Just saying.
Exactly.
So no one liked Smart Glass?
You know,
I
Didn't
still
bother
don't
to
think it's
find
gonna
out
be
what that
big.
even was.
I know Nam and Jaden, aka Jen, she liked Smart Glass.
I don't think that that's going to be as big as you think it's going to be.
They made it an
I'm-
app, and then developers have to develop inside of that app, and then it takes
But it's
care of
not
everything.
going to be that easy.
That's what they said.
Well, we haven't
they
seen
say
a lot of
of
it.
things,
But it's basically a second screen, just like the Wii U has.
but it's not going to be that easy. And I realize that Microsoft says a lot of things like they weren't committing antitrust, but they were.
Oh, also, I'll just throw this in. Dust 514 also looks super awesome.
What,
and I hope that works.
the EVE Online one?
Yeah. I hope that actually works how they say they want it to.
I mean, it's free to play, so I'll definitely try it out. And it does seem cool that it interacts with actual EVE Online.
Yeah. The concept for it is just so awesome, and I really want that to actually work.
But it has to have good gameplay and game modes and everything, or else it's just not going to work. And
There's so many shooters.
They haven't made a shooter before, as far as I know, so it's kind of unproven.
Yeah, that just gets washed out in the sea of shooters for me. Like, they have the Medal of Honor shooter. They have all these other free-to-play shooters.
Crisis 3.
Yeah, Crisis 3.
Far
Oh,
Cry
yeah.
3.
And I'm sure
looked like it might
they're
be fun.
good.
Far Cry 3
What
does
about-
look good.
4-player co-op.
Yeah, that's the
that's
part
kinda
that
Yeah,
interests me.
I didn't care about that
What
at all.
about Call of Duty? We are the Call of Duty cast, after all.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
looks so good.
You know what?
Game of the show.
You know what? Let's just move on.
There's not much to move on to. We're pretty much done. The
Dead
last thing I
Space?
just want to...
Yeah, Dead Space. I could talk about Dead Space a little. And Resident Evil 6.
Pew pew pew.
Oh, Resi
Wait,
6,
what about,
yeah.
What about Rayman Origins
You
It's
mean
like
that game that
Rayman.
came out last year?
Yeah.
on the Wii U?
You-
I just I'm
Isn't it
giving
something
shit.
else? What's the actual name of it?
What?
Rayman something.
Origins, I thought.
Where's
Oh,
the
that's the one
Legends?
that came out last year.
Legends?
Yeah, Legends, that's it.
Legends. I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Well, we've talked about Resident Evil 6. We could quickly talk about Dead Space 3, I guess, but...
Oh,
Co-op
Sony
confirmed.
All-Stars.
There,
But-
done.
Well, but the co-op is done a little differently. It's not like Resident Evil 5, where when you're not playing online with someone, that there's an AI person with you. They just disappear, and then your game changes accordingly. So all the cutscenes and everything are different, and the story plays out differently. And that's
So
cool.
they get bit or something.
Yes.
I have a quick question before we finish up. Is for Higgins, who listens to this podcast, is anyone interested in getting a Wii U?
I am.
Nope.
Eventually.
Why?
I will get one.
They can provide
Yeah, I have a
games.
question for both of you. Is why?
They can provide games that are interesting and somewhat original and make good use of their like touchscreen gamepad. And yeah, that'd be great. I've always thought that was a good idea that game companies should do earlier. Like I love VMUs on my Dreamcast.
But you're just gonna get the same games that you've been getting for the past 20
Alright,
years.
whatever.
So I can keep up my backward compatibility, and I mean it's gonna be a bunch of games that I can play with my wife, and I can play with my niece and nephew when they come to visit.
Mm.
You should just have them play Dead Space.
Yeah, most of the games that I would get for the Wii U, I would already be able to get on PS3 or PC or something.
Right, but when you're
Okay, that
playing a
list
game
of
like
launch
when you're
games.
playing a game like Madden, it's actually really cool to be able to pick your plays without the other guy not
Oh no,
interviewing
that's
with the
actually
stuff.
yeah. I would.
Totally.
Well,
I
you'll
would
be able to
actually
do that
wanna
with
do that for Madden.
Smart Glass. You can do that with Smart Glass too.
Ugh. I don't want to put down my controller to pick up something else to put that down again in order to pick up my controller on the fly. That's dumb.
Well, you're gonna have to do that
No,
with the
you're not,
Wii U
because
anyway
it's your
because
controller.
the battery is only like 2
I'm never
hours
gonna be
long.
playing
so
games
you'll have to
longer
be
than
using
3
the Pro
hours.
control.
No, it's 3 to 5 hours, and it takes 2.5 hours to charge.
And I could just play it with
See?
it plugged in. I don't really mind.
Can you?
I'm doing that right now with my
Why not?
my goddamn PlayStation controller. I don't care.
I'm trolling you guys, you know.
I don't know. I think that for me, Nintendo, after the last generation, the GameCube one, after
Wii?
they rehashed, before the Wii, after they rehashed all the games on the GameCube, and now they're rehashing them again on the Wii, I just am, like, my interest in Nintendo games has dropped.
Well, that's why I said.
They lost me with Nintendo.
That's why I said I'll wait and see if they provide something worth getting the system for. But I'm interested.
Right.
You know, right now I would Vita before I would get a Wii U.
That's my perspective too.
It has an exclusive game that I want.
The Assassin's Creed 3 guide.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever play Bloodlines?
Should bring that up.
Yep.
They just had nothing for Vita, and I was super disappointed.
Yeah, that was weird. They announced the Assassin's Creed and then Black Ops, and then that was it.
Maybe that's what they thought people wanted to hear. There's definitely a games coming out for Vita that I know of that I'm super hyped for.
But they don't talk about them.
I mean,
I don't
Yeah,
know what
like-
that
I mean,
is.
Zero's escape, Virtue's last word. I mean, you guys even know what that means?
Not one bit.
But it's a game
Not a
coming
clue.
out for Vita, and I'm super hyped for it.
I just wish they
there
focused
were
on it a little more.
Well, there were no mentions of price drops or pricing of
I was
anything.
disappointed
for-
with that. I want to
for
buy
anything.
Vita soon, but I would like it if it wasn't.
250 is
Yeah,
a lot.
well, 300 is a lot. I would try to get the one with GPS.
3G.
You know, Valve announced that Steam is coming to Linux.
Only you would care.
That's
And on that note, we should wrap this up.
Yes, we should.
Okay, we'll be back after this.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh,
Okay, we are back. We've swapped out some of the people, so let's reintroduce ourselves. I'm Dakazu,
I'm BobLoblaw.
Mr. X.
and Totoro.
and we're here to discuss Bob's choice of Moviebox pick. Bob, why don't you go ahead?
It's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I have no idea of the running time, but it'd be a shame
Hour
to
and
say
a
it's
half.
hour and a half. There you go. I won't say it's the greatest movie ever made, but I did like it. It was a damn fine movie.
It was really good.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I was very surprised. Not to say that I thought Bob had crap taste in movies, but sometimes you get a feeling from a movie, and
It sounds like you're trying to say Bob had crap taste in movies.
Bob has. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I was apprehensive because it was a horror movie, and I don't typically like horror movies. But I really like this movie.
I don't think I'd count it as a horror movie.
It's-
more
slasher.
It's a comedy.
Yeah, comedy would be probably about a horror movie though.
Kind of like Cabin in the Woods.
Well, the last, I would say, quarter, it turns into a horror movie.
The first 5 minutes and the last—that's hardly any of the movie.
yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of obvious what was happening, at least for me. Was anybody surprised by how it turned out?
About
No,
halfway
particular-
through, like, I kind of saw it.
Well, and to me, it kind of, I mean, the whole style of the movie changed it went from, talking to the camera, being a mockumentary to just being a horror, like a slasher flick, by the end.
I don't
So
know.
that kind of took me by surprise a little bit.
I wouldn't call it a slasher because it doesn't really show that much gore. Or it implies a lot.
It was barely any gore. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
Well-
you might have thrown up if there was a little gore.
Ugh, let's not remind me of that scene from Prometheus that made me almost gag.
Okay.
But no, I was really surprised by the amount of comedic moments that were in it.
So, did you like it, Totoro? Because I'm not entirely certain which way
No,
you're going
yeah,
on
I
this.
mean, I liked it. I'm just kind of. The only thing that I'm trying to say is that it was a bit of a weird feeling with it changing the style of movie there at the end. Not that it wasn't, a welcome change or that I thought it was bad by any stretch. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, it was great. I liked how they were playing with all the tropes from all the movies. Like seeing the shadowy figure and then the door closing behind you. That was just a brick tied to a fishing line. Spoilers.
It's kind of like inside baseball for slasher and horror movies.
Are we going to go into spoilers now, or I was trying to avoid it?
Totally, yeah.
Because I did like how he like what Mr. X was saying is how they broke down from like the slasher's point of view, like what he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and how they're not really supernatural beings at all. They're just guys that prepare and have all these tricks. Like, when they appear dead, it's because they practice their breathing in sensory depth chambers underground.
Did y'all get the meaning, like when he was talking about the apple press, the cider press? And then did you watch after the credits?
I did not watch after the credits.
You missed out.
I watched through the credits, but I don't remember exactly what he was talking about in the cider press.
So when he was walking people through, like this is when he took the documentary team and said, "This is my plan," and he ended it at the cider press, and she's like, "Well, what's the deal about the cider press?" And he's like, and he implied that this is the seminal moment, right? And then the tone changed and they realized what his true goal was, it ended at the cider press, right? And then if you watch at the end of the credits, he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
He gets up at the very end. Because the credits roll over the scene at the morgue. The morgue guys, doing stuff while Psycho Player's playing it over the credits, which is awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, that was, if there was ever a perfect musical cue, it's having Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads playing over those credits. That was just brilliant.
Yeah, but at the last 5 seconds, the body stands up. He's alive.
Which gives me a
Versus-
false hope that there'd be a sequel, although I don't see how they could do it, but it'd be awesome.
They've more or less announced that they are going to do one.
Have they?
I was reading about it on the Wikipedias. They basically only announced initials, and it's the letter B, the number 4, and then TM. So instead of behind the mask, people are speculating it's going to be before the mask.
So a prequel.
Who knows, something.
But it couldn't be another documentary.
Right, I don't know how they're going to do the trick again.
Yeah.
If they just make it a horror movie, that seems to it will lose charm. Because the charm of this movie is you're getting a behind the look scene from this killer.
And Robert Englund makes a great Dr. Loomis archetype.
Oh yeah, the Donald Pleasance stuff. When Scott Wilson, who plays Herschel from Lost, plays a great kind of
From
psychotic
Lost?
mentor. Or did I say Lost? I meant The Walking Dead.
You said Lost.
I meant The Walking Dead.
Okay.
My brain's all over the place today.
Yeah, maybe we'll do his origin story, right?
That would
Yeah,
be
that
kind of
could be.
cool.
Or how he met his wife.
Yeah, because that's what I was just going to say. Was that his wife was the, what do they call it? The survivor girl.
Was she?
It was
I thought
implied.
she was.
It didn't really come out and say it, but I think it's safe to say she probably was.
It's
She
so
could've been a
crazy.
killer though, because she said I ran really fast, and then he said, "But you still caught me."
And then
Right,
they
it's
had
hard.
some sex.
Yes.
And opened up a clinic on how to be a psycho killer.
Yeah.
So weird. That part's
So-
really surreal.
So we've been kind of talking about it here, but we've not really. Have we really kind of described how the movie is set up and everything? Or do we want to go through that?
It's a mockumentary.
Okay.
Well, the
Done.
great part, I got to listen to Dakazu watch it, and the first, because you could tell he was hesitant about watching a horror movie, and the first couple of minutes, it starts out as a horror movie because it shows the scene where
Outside the diner.
right. You can just hear Dakazu like, "Oh, I don't like this at all," and then he started laughing like a couple minutes later. So it was a fun transition.
Yeah, Bob got to hear me mumble while I was watching it Friday night, and I was like he said, I was apprehensive because it starts out as a horror movie, and then the crew shows up, and then you realize that you're getting a behind the look of the what the psycho killer is planning, and that was really interesting, and I was enjoying that. I was also like cursing out the main female character. I was like, oh, what an idiot. Because that was kind of sad. It seemed like they were playing on the conventions of the horror movie stuff, but they still had, the stupid female protagonist doing the stupid female protagonist stuff.
She tried to do the right thing, and like she wasn't wearing heels, and she didn't have sex and then die, right? Like a lot of female protagonists do.
The fake one did. The one that was being
right, which was sort of brilliant.
Fake survivor.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know, like we may not have mentioned it, but like they were very comedic in the exploring of the motivations of the psycho killer and the preparation.
Yeah, he anticipated her helping the whole time, so that's why she kept falling into the tropes, because he never really told him what his real plan was.
But he sort of did. That was
his final one, yeah. But like the bodies were moved to the van.
Right.
I like it a lot.
He made some variations. I thought it'd be a popular one, but I wasn't sure because some people get turned off by this sort of thing.
Like Dakazu.
No, I would totally recommend this movie to everybody.
It's been a lot of... I've seen quite a few good horror comedies lately. Like this, and Cabin in the Woods, and Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, while we were recording the other parts of the podcast, I've heard my wife and my brother, who were downstairs watching a movie, and kind of in between sections here, I've gone and checked in on them, and they've been watching Tucker and Dale.
That movie's great.
Just basically saying you have to watch this.
Yeah, I like Tucker and Dale.
Was that picked?
No, it was not. It could be though.
Yeah, but if we've all seen it, that's sort of a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done with the Moviebox pick?
I
think so. I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, it's just the only thing I can say is that it's really funny, and watch it. Don't judge it by the box art.
I will give the next Moviebox pick, which is Dark Fox 8's pick, and it's Wheels on Meals. It's a Jackie Chan flick. Big surprise.
Sammo Hung.
You know what? This movie was on instant streaming, and now it's not.
It was like as of yesterday.
This is like the second time it's happened. I think it happened with
Renaissance.
What was it? Yeah, Renaissance. It was a Trolls pick, where we check Netflix instant streaming, and then it's there, and then we check again, and then it's gone.
Well, this may be like an even harder one to get on DVD.
It's still on Netflix streaming.
What? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it wrong. Sorry, my mistake.
Trying to confuse everyone.
Yes, it is on Netflix streaming, so it should be easy to watch. Unless you're in Canada. Apparently, like, people in Canada have a hard time watching our Moviebox picks.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, they have all different movies up there. They're all in Canadian.
Those crazy Canadians. There's a way to verify I die, but I'm an American. What can I say? North and South.
All right, I'll wrap up then. I want to thank BobLoblaw and Kenzo and Rodney and special guest Tumble for joining us this week. If you enjoyed our podcast, please donate to the Mumble server, the official Geekbox Mumble server where we record this podcast, and also hang out and play games like Diablo 3. You can come talk to us and ask us if you want to be on the podcast, or you can PM us on the forums. You can PM Mr. X, Totoro, or me, Dakazu, at forums.geekbox.net. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at alltalk podcast, or you can email us questions at podcast@alltalkpodcast.com and review us on iTunes and stuff like that. And don't forget to listen to the other Geekbox podcasts, including The Geekbox, Comic Conspiracy, Comedy Button, and Good Job Brain as well. I love you.
I know.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to talk about the movie Prometheus. This is going to be full of spoilers, just warning everyone. So if you don't want the movie spoiled, don't listen to this part. I am Dakazu from the forums, and who is now with me?
Oh, Kenzo.
Kevin EP3.
Oh, Mr. X.
Rodney here.
And Totoro.
I like that there was a big delay between everyone saying their names.
Those delays will all be deleted in post.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Sure. We all saw Prometheus. Why don't we start off by saying if we liked it or not? Kenzo? Kevin?
I liked it quite a bit.
X?
Yeah.
Rodney?
Nay.
Totoro?
I liked it more than some of the parts that I did take issue with.
I see. I give it a B+. I liked it. But I've talked to a bunch of you about what your concerns and what you didn't like, and I agree with them. I think the difference with me was my expectations were very low, so I was not as disappointed.
Yeah, I was probably in the A- area, so not like full hard-on A+ boner for it.
I thought it was all over the place. When I first got done seeing it, I thought it was like maybe like 2 out of 4 stars. But then I just watched Alien again, and I think I dropped it down to 1.
Alien being the original Ridley
Obviously.
Scott.
It is called Alien.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the first hour was dramatically different from the second.
Yes. I felt that the movie was all over the place. It didn't know what it wanted to be.
I felt like this was a odd number Star Trek movie where you had all the makings for something very interesting, but just horribly butchered by like the script and just people fucking shit up.
Yeah, no one acted like they should be acting. They weren't acting like normal human beings would act in that situation.
I don't know about that. It was just bad scripting. They acted like people in a horror movie, which is like they were just acting really dumb, doing dumb horror movie stuff.
Sort of.
I mean,
But it wasn't. I don't even think it was a horror movie, though.
I mean, it wasn't a horror movie, just the way, but you get what I mean.
I don't think I'd call it that.
I think what Kenzo is saying is
I
it
get
was
what he's
really
saying.
easy to predict what was going to happen with all the characters. Like when I was watching the movie, as soon as I saw the main scientist girl, what was her name? Shaw? That was her character
Yeah.
name?
Kelly Shaw.
Yeah, so Shaw, I was like, I'm going to hate this person. She's going to cause the mission to be, she's going to cause a problem in the mission because she's going after a quest, and she's going to be the one to survive. I saw Michael Fassbender's robot AI David, and I was like, that's a robot. And then B, he can't be trusted. Something shady is going to go down with him. I saw the
Well, he was-
biology guy and the Mohawk guy, and I was like, those guys are going to die first.
Oh, they're the
you
first
know.
to run away. Of course they're gonna die.
Yeah,
The ones who
everything
run
was
away are the ones who
very-
die.
None
they
of
were
the
also-
events really shocked me.
Yeah, well, I feel like the movie started off with the script of a horror movie that was going to be an alien, straight up alien prequel, and then they just changed it so that it was no longer a straight up alien prequel, although it was still set in the same universe and sort of directly ties it to the events of Alien, kind
Sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, everything that you said before about it being like a prequel, and I was like, no way, it's that dumb. It's like, nope, it was that dumb.
Except it's not a prequel. That the ship that is in Alien was fossil. The alien that was in it was fossilized. The engineer.
Right, but I
The
mean,
space
it's the
jockey.
same. It's the same goddamn
Yes.
company. It's the same universe.
Actually, it's not the same company.
Aliens.
No, it's not.
Isn't it the
It's
same
before
company?
No, it's before the Utani merger.
Yeah, it's just Weyland, not Weyland-Yutani.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was going to originally be one way, and then they changed it, but then they left a lot of the stuff the same, and it just didn't seem to fit with what they were going for.
I don't
Like,
even
it's-
care about that.
there's parts of
Everyone
it-
was just dumb.
There's parts of it that were character drama, where you're supposed to care about the characters, only they did not develop the characters at all to make you care about them. Then there's parts of it that were horror, that were really ineffective, and then there was action bits that were not particularly good.
I thought the characters were characterized well. It's just like they were just dumb. They're just impossibly dumb. Like I don't care about people who are that dumb. Oh, alien planet. You don't know what's going on. Let's just take my mask off. It'll be fine. And then
don't
everyone
bring
follows
guns.
suit. That's the even worse part.
Yeah.
Rodney, what do you think?
I think there was a lot of glaring plot holes in this movie, and it just
Yep.
overall felt like it was made by committee.
Yes.
Like too many people were in charge of this project, I think.
Too many hands in the cookie jar.
And I think that Damon Lindelof had too much say in it.
Oh, he was involved?
He's a writer.
He was a co-writer of the script.
I wish I'd known that ahead of time.
I'm sure that he was the co-writer of a version of the script where he just rewrote it and changed a bunch of stuff and then asked questions and gave no answers.
Well, and it could be entirely possible that he wrote something that could have been, for all we know, fantastic, and then someone could have done an uncredited rewrite, or Ridley Scott could have taken, either an uncredited rewrite or, the straight-up script that Lindelof worked on with, I wish I could remember the other co-writer's name, and just changed, wholesale, parts of it.
I'm not inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt because everything else he's ever written before, I just think is dumb. Dumb.
I'm not saying
Kevin.
that I'm necessarily inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying that I'm not necessarily inclined to place all the blame squarely on him either.
Yeah, we need some positive feedback. So what Kevin, what did you think of this?
Okay. So I'll throw out the things from the movie. The acting from like all the major actors except for the one who wanted to be like a Tom Hardy lookalike was all really good.
I thought it was Tom Hardy when I was watching the movie. I was like, hey, Tom Hardy's in this.
I thought Fassbender acted circles around everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, especially in Alien and Aliens, two of the most, aside from Ripley, the two characters I thought were the most interesting were the two androids in those movies.
Not Hudson?
No, not Hudson.
Yeah, I thought the acting was pretty good overall in this movie, but that's not the problem.
Yeah, like his was good. Elizabeth Salander's was good.
Oh, Numira Pace, who played the main.
And then
who played what's her name? We just said it a minute ago. Anyway,
that was all good.
I'll say the best scene in the whole movie was the scene where she went to that surgery thing and it had the thing removed.
That was pretty intense.
That was great.
So, yeah.
That was good.
And then the CG was good.
Why was
The
that
CG
thing not
wasn't
programmed for
overbearing.
females?
That
was
was
dumb.
the worst.
That's what made it so good.
No, it was the worst. I almost threw up during that scene.
That's just because you're a wuss.
the other.
Yeah, that was
I
the
can't
thing.
handle surgeries, and that was disgusting.
That was the most tense, suspenseful scene of the whole movie.
I'll tell you.
I agree with that, but I also say it's horrible because I almost threw up.
I'll tell you, my favorite scene is probably when the guys were going kamikaze and they're like, "All right, hands up, let's do this." That was pretty cool.
Oh, with the ship?
Yeah.
Not the giant face hugger.
No,
No.
that was kind of dumb.
That was actually one of the only things I had a problem with in the movie.
Was the facehugger at the end?
How did it get so big?
How does a chest burster get so big in 10 minutes?
Hours. Yeah. Well, yeah, she was pregnant for 10 hours.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, you don't agree with all these negatives that we threw out at the beginning?
No, I'm not saying I disagree. I just didn't really have problems with that.
That's
just
fair
didn't
enough.
care?
That's fine.
Now, I'll readily admit that I thought that Fifield and the biologist, I thought they did kind of fall into the typical horror movie trope of going off and completely getting killed.
Well, I mean, the whole series started like Alien is just a slasher movie in space with an alien.
Yeah, sure.
It's just really, really well done. So, I mean, I can understand why they would have horror tropes in it.
But these are just you can have horror tropes and not have people being unfunctional retards in the film.
Yeah, I mean, probably my biggest beef with that was that these were two kind of grown men. They were obviously educated because they were a geologist and a biologist, and yet they can't find their fucking way back to the ship.
Even
That
though,
was kind of lame.
even though they're all hooked up to the same robotics that everyone else is, and they have all that and that was the guy who sent out sent out
he's the guy that
mapping
made
stuff.
the map.
Yeah, and you can't follow
Yeah,
the map.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my single major complaint about the whole thing. The one thing that I kind of, I don't know, I'm still on the fence on if I liked it or not, was having the space jockeys be essentially human. And it was originally referred to as the space jockey in the original movie, but in this one they called them the engineers.
In the original movie, they didn't really refer to him as anything.
Well, I think that's what but fans have since referred
It's
to
in the
them
books, the extended fiction. They call them space jockeys.
But no, I thought the for the most part it was extremely well acted.
Yeah, the acting is fine.
I felt like David was a little bit more Ash compared to Bishop.
I love the Lawrence of Arabia stuff that they had in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
he
part
was-
beginning was fun.
He was just doing as he was told. He didn't have free will. I mean, he was not good or bad.
Well,
you know,
neither
X, you say this, but why did he contaminate that guy?
He was told to.
So
Why
it's
would he
the
be
HAL
told to?
9000 thing.
Yeah, why?
Well, he's programmed for curiosity, probably much like HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Yeah, but
where he's told to explore all of the possibilities, and he's constantly getting. We find out later on in the movie that he's constantly going back to Wayland and getting instructions. So it's not like he was programmed to do one thing at the very beginning and then.
But
his
what
mission
were
never
the
changed.
instructions that Wayland would possibly give to say, hey, go and contaminate this guy?
Well,
Try harder.
Yeah, that was a summary of what he was told. Try harder, and then immediately he went and did that. Whatever
Try
he
harder
was
to find out what the hell was going on.
Or-
what this stuff is.
Kenzo, are you and I the only ones who thinks, what?
probably.
Well, Kenzo, didn't you say you read somewhere where he was trying to find a way to cure Wayland?
It's just someone else on the forums. That was their hypothesis. They're talking to Wayland. Wayland wanted to know if anything. That was the whole purpose he was there. He's I want to know if there's something here, some crazy alien tech that can save my life. And so if you look at it that way, it's yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense why he would test it out on someone else first. It's maybe this goo has curative properties or something. But
there was nothing to cure in that guy.
Too.
That guy was
Yeah,
fine.
it's just old age.
I mean, it's just whatever. It's just testing it or whatever, right? But I understand that. But when it becomes obvious that no, this shit will kill him when he's all fucked up and trying to get back on the ship, it's no. This is no
they
good.
had no idea what it did.
And
It seemed like they were trying to make it like the other movies, where the company who wants the alien.
Yeah, the company is essentially evil.
but they don't
and
even know that
they're
the
gonna bring
alien
him
is
back.
there.
Well, they
But know something's there.
in Aliens. Burke tried to infect Newt and Ripley, and then
Yeah, because they wouldn't consider it odd to have two females with multiple life signatures in them.
Yeah, so he was just gonna put facehuggers on them and then put them in the cryo things.
Yeah, but this is all with some amount of knowledge of what's going on. These guys don't know what's going on, so they're just doing stupid shit for no reason.
It's like they put that in the movie because it was expected to be in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
And once they realize that this goo stuff infects you and fucks you up, you'd think that after that, when it becomes evident that it's passed on to what's her face, female scientist, I don't even know her name, she's forgettable. You think that
Shaw.
the doctor would be a little bit more concerned about trying to get her fixed up and stuff, right? Or the robot, but no, they both just kind of leave her there to die. It's oh, well, whatever. She's got a fucking alien growing inside her. We're just not gonna do much about this.
They were gonna freeze her and bring her back to Earth,
Right.
just like they want to do with every alien in every Aliens movie.
dumb.
So what did do you guys think that was a full-fledged xenomorph at the end of the movie?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Not that we have grown, or not that we have come to expect.
It looked
They had
nothing like it.
It looked
No.
everything like it.
Other than the
no,
basic
it
shape
didn't.
of the head, it looked
And
nothing
being
like
black and then having a
and
crazy mouth. And
the hands
And
kind
tail.
of, and the fact that the fact that the blood was acid.
a lot of
Yeah.
tiny details, sure, were probably different.
Tiny?
But it's
They probably
to the
couldn't do it.
average moviegoer like myself who doesn't give a crap about these tiny details. Yes, it's yep, that's an alien. This is definitely
There was
alien.
no.
Yeah, one of my friends who went to see it had no idea it had anything to do with aliens, and at the end he was like, wait a sec, this is related to aliens? Because it's very clearly very similar to an alien.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was intended to be similar, and I think it might eventually,
Grow up into one.
they keep evolving with everything they do, so I think eventually it would turn into it, but that is not one.
That's an alien, man.
Right. Well, I mean, even the face hugger is different. So I have to wonder if maybe when they like go and they, ram the ovipositor down the throat and do all that shit, that they take some sort of DNA from the host and
Yeah,
kind of evolve from there.
In past movies, it's been implied that the alien changes depending on what it's in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna quote the captain. I don't care.
That's my
Yeah, he
feelings
was-
on the whole movie.
He was
Don't care.
another. I really liked his character actually.
That's another.
Idris Elba is a
I hate
wonderful
him
actor.
because he is irresponsible and stupid and got everyone killed.
He was better in Thor.
He was in Thor.
He was Heimdall.
He
Is that the character's name?
The guy with the sword that was
Gatekeeper
guarding
guy.
the gate.
Oh yeah.
He's also on The
The
Wire.
only black guy in
also-
Thor.
Now I remember.
He was also on The Office.
He's also in Losers.
Was he
The
in?
Losers.
Was he Stringer Bell?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, from what I've seen of The Wire.
Oh, I would also like to say this movie had awesome sound.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very. It was very well put together.
I saw it in IMAX, so I mean, it's kind of hard not to have awesome sound, but man,
Are you talking about the soundtrack or the use of sound or just
All of
just
it.
in general?
in general.
I don't know if I can fully agree with that.
Again, the IMAX theater probably helped it a lot.
I thought it sounded pretty good. I wasn't in an IMAX theater, but like
I
again,
don't know about the full use of the soundtrack. Sorry, Kenzo, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's okay. It's just again like this had makings for a very good movie. Like all the all the foundations, the parts. It's just it wasn't put together well. Bad writing.
I disagree.
So at the end, when they're running away from the crashing spaceship, and everyone does the dumb thing and just runs forward, and they can't run to the sides. It's like
That
seriously,
was so dumb.
are you serious?
I did.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, God, I forgot about that. That was ridiculous.
I mean, the one that
Well,
falls
even when
down first, she just rolls out of the way to safety, slowly rolls, and the other one, she falls down later, but is resigned to getting crushed. Like I don't get that. It's just dumb. It's just impossibly dumb.
Yeah, when watching that, I thought, really, that's how you're gonna die?
Which is really bad because she was like the one character that I actually gave a crap about because she was the least stupid out of everybody.
Are you talking about Charlize Theron character?
Yeah.
She was a lot like Ripley.
Now, did you think that she was another android, or did you think that she was a real person?
No, she's a person.
No,
Well,
I thought she was a real person.
I mean,
It was
seemed
obvious
like they
he was
were.
Wayland's daughter.
It was.
Why would they cryo sleep a robot?
Yeah, it seemed like they were
Exactly.
trying to make you guess if she was or not, because in Alien, Ash came out of the cryo thing, and he was a robot.
Well, and the other thing is that
I think Bishop
the
did too in
surgery,
Aliens.
the surgery pod was only configured for male anatomy. And
Yes.
her-
But
Oh
that's,
yeah, for Wayland.
Yeah,
now.
that's what I thought that surgery pod was for. Is like that's obviously for him, not her.
well, but why would it be in her area and not his area then?
Because she brought it along.
she didn't know he was there, did she?
Yeah, she knew.
Are you sure?
But it seems like it would be better to have it in his little area as opposed to
Well, he didn't think he'd need it. He brought it. He snuck on board and was like, "I'm doing this," and she's like, "Well, I'm going to follow you and make sure things are okay."
Did anyone else have a problem with Guy Pearce?
I liked him in his
Which one
in
is
the
Guy
TED
Pearce?
Talk
I didn't.
thing.
He
that
was
did.
the old guy.
I just don't understand why they put young actors as old people in movies.
Why didn't they just get a genuine old person?
It just
I thought
looks
he
so
looked-
awkward.
I thought he looked good as the age version though.
No,
Yeah, he didn't look
because
that bad.
no. You see, you guys are
It
missing.
just looks so fake.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
you can say whatever about the face makeup, but like there were many scenes where like, especially when you found out that he was on the ship, you see him like standing up and you see his legs. They look skinny young person legs.
They should have got
Were you
Lance
saying old
Henriksen.
people have fat legs or something?
No, I
No, they
meant
have
to
old
say,
legs.
I didn't
Yeah,
mean to say skinny.
skinny legs.
I just meant to say that they looked like healthy young person legs.
Lance
was
Henriksen
really
should have
obvious.
played him.
I didn't really care.
Who?
Lance Henriksen.
But he played Utani in one of the AVP movies.
But he played Wayland in Alien 3.
I'm just used to
Did
like
he?
really, really bad makeup from like Star Trek shows and stuff, so I don't really care about bad stuff like that.
Well, and with him being in the promotional material and doing the TED Talk video, I think that it really needed to be him.
I thought the visuals in this movie were excellent, though. Look great.
Well, and the 3D was done outstanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3D was good for that.
I'd say it was good in that I never thought it was distracting. By the end of the movie, I just kind of like tuned it out.
Well, and you could tell that it was filmed in 3D and that it wasn't like a post-production 3D either. And I saw it in the XD 3D, which is like the XD screen is like the wall-to-wall, ceiling to floor.
I saw it in 2D.
Yeah, I went for 2D after my Avengers debacle, and I couldn't focus on anything. I think we're wrapping up, though. I think it's obvious that we pointed out things that we didn't like and we thought were issues, and it just seems like either it bothers you more or it bothers you less. And that determines your value in this movie.
Overall, this movie's getting pretty positive reviews.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just thought it betrayed my expectations. Like, I was expecting Ridley Scott. I was expecting something smart, and instead I got something that was just kind of like meh.
And I don't owe anybody a $60 game.
Nope, you don't. It was related to aliens.
Definitely.
All right, that thing.